So recently, I've had the pleasure to sit down with the world's best vegan cannabis writer, and we had a little discussion about some of those U.S. islands. When we talk about traveling, a lot of times, when you have a discussion with people, the first thing that comes to mind are like Dubai and somewhere overseas. And as I was talking with her, she pointed out a lot of great gems, a lot of islands that are owned by U.S territories that you don't really hear or see in the papers a lot, but you can visit. And what makes the significance of these points so important, these islands so important, is that everybody don't have a passport. Of course, given the way they're engineering this country, engineering the world, soon that may become a requirement, right? Soon you may need a passport in the near future, just for the sake of identification, identifying who you are in this country, and that's a whole nother podcast on itself. So I'm not going to get into that today. But she just recently put out an article about some of these hidden gems. And so I want to tap in today and share a few that I've known and that I've seen and heard about that may hopefully inspire somebody, inspire you all to go and check out. Get your bags ready, pack your bags, and head on out to these islands, man. Get your visit on, get your swerve on, get your relax on. And so with this particular episode, we're going to take a turn for just discussing about some of these U.S. territories that you can visit. And along with the article, and I will be sharing it along with this podcast, you can check out some of those islands that, she recommends and that she suggests. But with me piggybacking off of what, we discussed, I'm going to share some of those things as well. I'm going to share some islands that, again, not many people talk about. You don't really see it in the brochures, but you can visit, and there's a lot of shared experiences also with that. So stay tuned to this episode, Black Men in Suits, Uncut Truth. One of the first ones that come to mind is Santa Catalina. Santa Catalina Islands is off the coast of California, and it's one of those places you don't hear about at all. But people that's from LA or any of that southern part of California should know, right? But it's one of those hidden gems, and of course you get to LA, you take a ferry there, and there's a resort town, and so again, it has a beach, and I'm sure people that come back from there always have great reviews. So again, it's one of those ones you can check out. You can look up on YouTube. You can see for yourself, and you can get a little bit more information that you need before you get to start traveling. So that's number one on my list, Santa Catalina Islands. Now, the second one is Mariana Islands. Now, when you hear about Mariana Islands, it's closely associated with Saipan because that's the capital. And so when you hear about Saipan and when you hear that name, the Mariana Islands are associated with that. But it's another place that you can visit without having to get your passport ready, get your ID, get your Social Security, and it's at least something you can get started with your traveling. But you still can get to enjoy traveling some of these U.S. territories without, beginning the process of your passport at the moment. Which, at the end, I still recommend, but Hey, we talking about U.S. territories that people don't really talk about a lot because they're busy visiting everywhere else. And these will get you some ideas on how to get your travel started. Amelia Islands is my third on my list. Now, the Amelia Islands is a part of the chain of islands that barrier that coastline of Florida. Uh, so you actually, I'm going to give you three more good ones right here. There's one called Black Hammock Island, and then there's also Fernandina Beach. So now these islands, they're right off the coast of Florida, and you know they become popular during the holiday season. But you can visit, but of course, all year round is available. So those three right there, you got a three for one. Right in the top destinations, some of those luxury resorts that are not talked about a lot. So check them out. Put them on your list. Visit some of the tour sites and see what you like about it. If there's anything you want to check out. So there's your three for one right there, just right outside of Florida. Now the next few on my name, they're kind of like they're well known, right? But to me, they seem to have faded within the travel world. Virgin Islands, Hawaii, American Samoa. You definitely don't hear people talk about Samoa anymore. You really don't. You really don't. But these are some of the top names that you typically would used to hear a lot. And I think they have recently kind of faded into the background or slowly fading. But it's time that we get back to it. So remember these. While everybody else is, while they everywhere else, keep these islands on your list. Now my last one is right off east of Puerto Rico. And I know I'm going to say this wrong. And I'm about to ask my friend again. I'm about to ask them about the pronunciation of it. But the Vázquez Islands. Now, it's east of Puerto Rico now. It is not talked about at all. You hear people, we go to Puerto Rico, but we don't travel out just a little bit further past it. Now, most importantly, if you follow the travel blog that I will be attaching with this podcast, my dear friend, the Vegan Travelers Cannabis Writer, she breaks down a lot of those islands that are right off that coast as well. So you'll be able to get a lot of good information from her and her blog. And just other information that you will most importantly need when it comes to understanding the process of travel and what you need. So, man, I thank y'all for checking out and listening. And so these are some of the hot spot islands of U.S. territories that are being visited, but not by us, right? We're not taking advantage of it, according to, what's being reported. But these are some islands that you can visit that are part of the U.S. territory that don't require much of you at the moment. And that much, of course, we're talking about having a U.S. passport or this thing of that nature. So put them down, write these down, put them on your list. And once again, I thank you for tuning in to Black Men in Suits, Urban Nation, the Young Cut Truth.